Welcome back, everyone. I'm so glad you're here for Lecture 3. If you've been with us for the first two lectures, you've learned about the promise of AI in mental health and how to evaluate tools responsibly through the lens of trust, HIPAA, ethics, and boundaries. Today, we're shifting from theory to practice. We're going to explore the concrete, practical ways AI can support every part of your clinical work, from documentation to marketing, operations to professional development. This isn't about replacing what you do, it's about giving you back the time and mental energy to do it better. By the end of this training, you'll have a clear picture of where AI fits into your workflow and how to start integrating it strategically. Let's dive in. Before we get into the details, let me share what we're going to accomplish together today. First, you'll identify at least 4 distinct categories of AI applications that support clinical practice. We're talking about documentation, marketing, operations, and professional development. 4 pillars that together create an integrated support system. Second, you'll be able to evaluate specific AI tools and determine their appropriateness for different practice management tasks. This includes scheduling, billing, client communication, all those administrative pieces that eat up your time. Third, you'll learn how to apply AI-assisted strategies to enhance your practice visibility. That means website content, social media posts, newsletters, the marketing work that many of us find uncomfortable or super time-consuming. Fourth, we'll demonstrate how AI can support clinical documentation while you maintain full professional responsibility for accuracy and clinical judgment. AI assists, but you remain the clinician in charge. And fifth, you'll analyze the shift from manual administrative overload to integrated AI support and understand its impact on your capacity for client care. We're going to take a look at what this actually means for your daily life. These aren't just theoretical concepts. By the end of today, you'll have practical tools that you can start using immediately. Let's start by naming what we all know, but we don't always talk about. The administrative burden in mental health practice is crushing. And I want you to see the numbers because sometimes seeing it quantified helps us realize we're not imagining this. 30 to 40% of your time as a clinician is spent on administrative tasks, documentation, billing, scheduling, not therapy, not the work you're trained for, not the reason you became a therapist. 52% of therapists report burnout, and the administrative burden is cited as the primary contributor. This isn't just about being busy, it's about unsustainable workload patterns that are driving talented clinicians out of the field. And here's the kicker. The average therapist spends 10 to 15 hours per week on non-billable administrative work. That's more than a full workday every single week that you're not getting paid for. And that's taking you away from the clients who need you the most. Now, here's the shift I want you to consider. Mental health professionals spend significant time on non-clinical tasks that reduce their capacity for direct client care. The traditional practice model creates these unsustainable patterns that contribute to burnout and actually limit access to services. When you're spending 15 hours a week on paperwork, that's 15 hours you're not available to see clients. And this is where AI comes in. Many clinicians are finding that AI can support different parts of their practice by taking care of the routine administrative work, while clinical judgment and decision-making still remain firmly with the clinician. So you're not handing over your professional responsibility, you're offloading the tasks that don't require your clinical expertise. So let me be clear about this. This isn't about cutting corners, it's about working smarter so you can be more present for the work that actually matters. So let's break this down. AI integration isn't just about one tool or one task. It spans 4 key areas of clinical practice. Each one addresses specific pain points and creates more space for therapeutic work. Think of these as the 4 pillars that together support your entire practice. Pillar 1, our clinical work. This is where AI assists with documentation, treatment planning, and intervention suggestions while you maintain clinical oversight and decision-making authority. We're talking about progress notes, treatment plans, clinical insight, all the documentation that currently keeps you up at night. AI can draft it, but you review it, edit it, and approve it. Your clinical judgment remains central. Pillar 2, operations. AI handles routine administrative tasks that consume hours each week, freeing you to focus on client care and practice growth. This includes systems analysis, billing assistance, forms creation, client communication, all those operational pieces that feel like they're drowning. Imagine having an assistant who never sleeps and never complains about data entry. Pillar 3, visibility and marketing. Many of us became therapists because we want to help people, not because we're natural marketers. AI helps you create professional content that reflects your voice and values, expanding your reach to potential clients. Websites, social media, newsletters, SEO, AI can help you build your online presence without it feeling inauthentic or overwhelming. In Pillar 4, learning and growth, AI makes professional development more accessible by summarizing research, creating materials, and supporting clinical reflection. Research summaries, training materials, reflective practice, all the continuing education and skill development that keeps you sharp but you never have time for. Here's what's important to understand. These aren't separate tools, they're integrated ecosystems that reduce friction across your entire practice workflow. When your documentation tool talks to your billing system, when your scheduling assistant connects with your client communication platform, when your research summaries inform your treatment plan, that's when you start to see the real transformation, and AI can help you with all of that. This is about building a practice that supports you, not one that exhausts you. So let's start with the area that causes the most pain for most clinicians, clinical documentation. This is where AI can have the most immediate impact on your daily life. Progress notes. AI tools can transcribe your sessions and draft clinical notes from audio recordings. Many clinicians are using these tools to help reduce documentation time. So here's how it works. You record the session with the client's consent. The AI transcribes it and then drafts a progress note based on that transcription. You review it, you edit it, and approve it. The AI doesn't write your note. It gives you a first draft that you refine with your clinical judgment. Treatment planning. AI tools may provide possible interventions, connect treatment goals with therapeutic interventions, and surface relevant context. All treatment decisions remain with you, the clinician. Think of it as having a really well-read colleague who can quickly remind you of the evidence-based interventions for specific presenting problems. The AI might suggest, for this client presenting with social anxiety, there are 3 CBT interventions you might consider. But you're the one who decides what fits best for that particular client. Then we have clinical insights. AI tools can help identify patterns across sessions, reoccurring themes, indicators of progress, potential barriers to treatment. These observations can support your clinical reflection. Maybe you've seen a client for 10 sessions and the AI notices that every time you discuss their relationship with their mother, their language becomes more passive. That's not a diagnosis, but it's a pattern that might inform your clinical thinking. So here's the key message I want you to remember. AI may assist with drafting. Clinical responsibility remains with the clinician, always. You're the licensed professional. You're the one with the therapeutic relationship. You're the one that signs the note. AI is a tool, not a replacement. Now let's talk about operations, all those administrative tasks that keep your practice running but don't require your clinical expertise. Scheduling and appointments. Clinicians who use AI for scheduling may find it helpful for booking, rescheduling, and reminders depending on your practice's needs and setup. Think about how much time you spend playing phone tag with clients trying to find a time that works. AI scheduling assistants and automated booking systems can handle that entire dance. Your client gets a link, it sees your availability in real time, books their appointment, and gets automatic reminders. You never have to be involved in that process. Billing and insurance. Some clinicians use AI tools to assist with billing-related tasks, such as researching requirements, drafting appeal letters, or reviewing denial information. If you've ever had an insurance claim denied and had to write an appeal, you know how time-consuming that is. AI chatbots with deep research functionality can help you understand why the claim is denied and draft an appeal letter based on the specific denial reason. You review it and send it, but you're not starting from scratch. The AI is doing that part for you. Form processing. AI tools may help extract key information from intake forms, populate records, and flag missing or inconsistent details, with final review done by your staff or clinicians or by yourself. Think about your intake process. A client fills out a 10-page form, and then you or your admin assistant has to manually enter all that information into your EHR. The AI can read that form, extract key data points, populate your records, and flag anything that's missing or doesn't make sense. Faster onboarding, reduced data entry errors. And then client communications. Some practices use AI-assisted tools for routine, non-clinical communications like confirmations, hours, or insurance questions, email responses, appointment confirmations, FAQ handling, although what are your hours, and do you take my insurance questions that fill your inbox? AI can handle those so you can focus on the communications that actually require your clinical judgment. Here's what clinicians who adopt administrative AI tools often report. They're spending less time on routine and admin tasks, with time savings varying by workflow and tools used. For some, it's an hour a day. For others, it's 5 hours a week. The time does add up, and it's time that you can't get back for yourself or for your clients. Now, I want to talk to you about something that makes a lot of therapists uncomfortable: marketing. Many of us struggle with this. It feels uncomfortable, time-consuming, or inauthentic. We didn't go into this field to be salespeople, but here's the reality. If potential clients can't find you, you can't help them. AI can help you create professional content that reflects your voice and values without it feeling icky or overwhelming. Website creation and content. AI website builders can create professional therapist websites in hours, not weeks. They generate SEO optimized content that helps potential clients find you when they're searching for help. They create service descriptions, about pages, FAQ sections, all in your voice. You provide basic information about your practice, your brand, who you are, your approach, your specialties, and the AI drafts the content. You edit it to make sure it sounds like you, and boom, you have a professional website. Social media content. AI drafts psychoeducational posts that engage your audience while maintaining ethical boundaries. It creates content calendars and suggests posting schedules. It helps you build an online presence without overwhelming your schedule. Maybe you want to post mental health tips on Instagram, but you don't have time to come up with content ideas and write posts every week. AI can generate a month's worth of posts based on your therapeutic approach. You can review it, edit it, and schedule them all at once for the entire month. Email newsletters. AI writes client newsletters with mental health tips and practice updates. It personalizes content for different client segments. It maintains consistent communication without consuming hours each week. You might want to send a monthly newsletter to your clients with self-care tips and practice news, but sitting down to write it every month feels like one more thing on your to-do list. AI can draft it based on your guidance, and you can review and send it in 15 minutes instead of 2 hours. Blog posts, articles, presentations, AI helps you share your expertise through written content. It expands your reach and establishes professional credibility. It converts your clinical knowledge into accessible public education. Maybe you're an expert in trauma therapy and you want to write a blog post about grounding techniques. AI can help you draft that post in language that's accessible to the general public, not just other clinicians. And now here's the ethical consideration. Always review AI-generated marketing content to ensure it aligns with your professional ethics and accurately represents your practice and you as a person, your values, your morals, all of that. Make sure it sounds like you. AI should never be used to generate clinical advice or treatment recommendations for the public. You can share general mental health information, but you're not diagnosing or treating people through a blog or social media. That's an ethical boundary that we don't cross. Now let's talk about professional development. Staying current with research and refining your clinical skills requires time most of us don't have. We know we should be reading the latest studies, attending trainings, engaging in reflective practice, but when are we going to do that? AI makes professional development more accessible and sustainable. Some clinicians find AI tools helpful for summarizing research articles or clinical studies and translating academic language into a more practical takeaway. You know how when you read an abstract of a study and you think, that sounds relevant, but I really don't have the time to read 30 pages of dense academic prose? AI can read that study, summarize the key findings, and translate them into practical implications for your clinical work. You still need to read the summary critically, but it's a lot faster than having to read the full study. Some clinicians use AI tools to draft client handouts, psychoeducation materials, worksheets, adapting content for different reading levels. Maybe you want to give your clients a handout about cognitive distortions, but the ones you find online are too technical or not quite right for your population. AI can help you draft a handout that's tailored to your client's needs and their reading level. Clinical reflection. AI tools may support reflection by helping you identify patterns in your practice or organizing your thoughts for supervision and case conceptualization. Some clinicians use AI as a thinking partner. They'll write out their thoughts about a challenging case, and the AI will help them organize those thoughts, identify themes, or generate questions for supervision. Continuing education. Some clinicians use AI tools to track or summarize continuing education content and relate new learning to their clinical work. You attend a workshop, take a bunch of notes, and then those notes sit in a folder somewhere. AI can help you synthesize those notes, connect them to your current cases, and integrate that learning into your practice. Here's the transformation. AI helps you transform scattered learning moments into structured professional growth. It makes continuous development sustainable and accessible. You're not choosing between professional development and self-care. You actually can do both. Okay, I know we've covered a lot of concepts, so let's make this concrete. I want to show you a side-by-side comparison of a typical workday with and without AI support. This is based on real clinicians' experiences. A traditional practice. Here's what your day might look like. 8 a.m., you arrive, review your schedule, respond to emails that came in overnight. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., you see clients, you're fully present in those sessions, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking about the notes you still need to write from yesterday. 12 to 1 p.m., if you're lucky, you have a lunch break, except it's not really a break because you're catching up on documentation while you eat a sandwich sitting at your desk. 1 to 5 p.m., you see 4 more clients, and by the end of the day, you're exhausted, but you still have 7 progress notes to write. 5 to 6:30 p.m., you write progress notes, return calls, handle billing issues, You're supposed to leave at 5 p.m., but you can't leave with all of this undone. Then the evening comes, you go home, but you're not done. You finish the remaining notes at home, prep for tomorrow, your partner asks how your day was, and you're too tired to even answer them or spend any time with them at all. This is a 10+ hour workday, and documentation bleeds into your personal time. Does this sound familiar? I know it does for me. Now, let's look at an AI-supported practice. 8 a.m., you arrive, and there's an AI-integrated summary of overnight messages waiting for you. You scan it in 2 minutes. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., you see 3 clients. You're in session. AI is writing the notes based on your recordings in real time. 12 to 1 p.m., you have an actual lunch break. You eat lunch like a human being. You then spend 15 minutes reviewing and editing the AI drafted notes from the morning. They're 80% done. You just need to add your clinical insight and make sure everything looks accurate inside of the notes. 1 to 5 p.m., you see 4 more clients. AI can provide ICD-10 codes and draft treatment plan updates as you go through the day. 5 to 5:30 p.m., you review and approve your afternoon notes. AI handles routine emails, appointment confirmations, insurance questions, the stuff that doesn't need your clinical input. And then it's the evening. You go home. Documentation is complete. You have free time. You could cook dinner. You could see your friends. You can go to the gym. You can watch TV. Whatever you want. Your evening is yours. This is a 9-hour workday. Evenings are truly free, and you've reclaimed 2+ hours daily. That's 10 hours a week. That's 40 hours a month. That's the equivalent of adding a full extra week of your life every single month. And this isn't a fantasy. This is what clinicians using AI tools are actually experiencing. And now I know some of you are thinking, this sounds great, but. So let's address these concerns I hear most often. I want to tackle these head on because they're legitimate questions. Won't AI make my practice feel impersonal? This is probably the number one concern I hear, and here's the thing. AI tools typically draft content based on your input with full review and personalization by you before anything is finalized. Many clinicians think of AI as a writing or organizational aid rather than a replacement for clinical judgment. It's like having a really efficient assistant who gives you a first draft. You're still the one adding the personal touch, the clinical nuance, the training up front so it knows what you sound like and how you talk. You're still the one handling the therapeutic relationship. In fact, many clinicians report feeling more personal with their clients because they're not mentally exhausted from the administrative work. The next question I get, is it too technical for me? I hear this a lot, especially from clinicians who didn't grow up with technology. Good news, many AI tools are designed for non-technical users. They use interfaces similar to email or word processing software. If you can send an email, you can use most of these tools that I'm talking about. Some offer onboarding resources or support to help you get started. You don't need to understand how AI works any more than you need to understand how your car engine works when you're driving. The next thing I hear, what if AI makes mistakes? This is a critical question, and I'm glad you're asking it. AI tools are generally used for drafting or organization. You review all the content and remain responsible for accuracy, clinical appropriateness, and ethical use. Human review is essential. AI might draft a progress note, but you're the one who reads it, edits it, and signs it. If there's an error, that's on you, not the AI. This is why we emphasize that AI is a tool, not a replacement for your professional judgment. And then I hear, isn't this expensive? Pricing varies across tools. Some clinicians find that potential time savings can help justify the cost of adopting a new tool. Think about it this way. If a tool costs $100 a month but saves you 10 hours a month, what's your time worth? If you could see 2 more clients a week with that reclaimed time, does the math work out? Some clinicians choose to start with free or low-cost options to assess before committing to a paid tool. But once you see how much time it saves, oftentimes it really feels worth the price. And then I get the question, where do I even start? This is the most practical question, and here's my advice. Many clinicians begin with a single area that creates the most friction. For most people, that's documentation. Start there. Trial one tool before deciding whether to expand its use. Don't try to overhaul your entire practice at once. Pick one pain point, find one tool, try it for 1 month, and see if it helps. If it does, great. Then you can think about expanding from there. If it doesn't, you've only invested 1 month. So let's talk about how you actually do this. I'm going to give you a 4-step roadmap for integrating AI into your practice in a way that's sustainable and strategic. The first step is assessing your pain points. Identify which administrative tasks consume the most time and energy. Prioritize areas where AI could have immediate impact. Consider documentation, scheduling, billing, or marketing needs. Take out a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and write down the 3 tasks that cause you the most stress or take the most time. Be specific, not just documentation, but is it writing progress notes after a full day of sessions when I'm exhausted? Get that specific and it'll help you find the right tool. Step 2, pilot one tool. Start with a single AI application in your highest priority area. Test it with a small subset of clients or tasks. Evaluate HIPAA compliance, accuracy, and time savings before expanding. Most tools offer free trials or month-to-month subscriptions. Try it with 5 clients for 2 weeks. See if it actually saves you time. Make sure it's HIPAA compliant. Make sure the output is accurate. If it's not working for you, you haven't invested that much time. If it is working, great. Now you can expand. Step 3, refine your workflow. Adjust AI integration based on what works and what doesn't. Develop review protocols to maintain quality and clinical oversight. Train yourself and your staff on effective AI use. This is where you figure out the details. Maybe the AI drafts great notes, but you need to add specific sections that it's missing. Create a template or a checklist for yourself. The best AI tools give you the ability to personalize the tools within the system that you're using. Maybe your admin assistant needs training on how to review AI-generated appointment confirmations. This is the phase where you customize the tool to fit your practice, not the other way around. Step 4, expand strategically. Once one tool is working well, gradually add AI support in other areas. Build an integrated ecosystem that supports your entire workflow. Continuously evaluate impact on your time, quality, and client care. Maybe you started with documentation, now you're thinking about scheduling. Pilot a scheduling tool. See if it integrates with your documentation tool. Build your ecosystem one piece at a time. And keep evaluating, is this actually making your life better? Is it improving your client care? If not, adjust it or abandon it. And here's the key message. Start small, move deliberately, and build toward a sustainable practice that serves both you and your clients. This isn't a race. You don't get extra points for adopting 10 tools at once. You get points for building a practice that doesn't burn you out. Now, I want to close with this core message because I think it captures what we're really talking about here. What AI handles: the administrative burden, documentation drafts, scheduling logistics, routine communication, research summaries, and content creation. All the stuff that keeps your practice running but doesn't require your unique clinical expertise. What remains uniquely yours: therapeutic presence, clinical judgment, empathetic attunement, the healing relationship, ethical decision-making, and human connection. This is what you're trained for. This is what your clients need from you. This is what AI can never do. The real impact: mental energy for clients, reduced burnout, sustainable practice, and the capacity to be fully present in the moments that matter the most. When you're not mentally exhausted from writing notes until 10 p.m., you can actually be present with your clients, your family, your significant other. When you're not stressed about billing issues, you can attune to the subtle emotional shifts in the room with your clients. When you have evenings and weekends to rest and recharge, you can bring your best self to your work. AI doesn't do the healing, you do. But AI gives you more space to be present for it. That's the promise, that's the possibility, and that's what I want for all of you. A practice that sustains you so you can sustain your clients. So here's my question for you as we wrap up. Which of these 4 pillars would have the greatest impact on your practice right now? Is it clinical work, documentation, treatment planning, and clinical insights? Is it operations, scheduling, billing, forums, communication? Is it visibility and marketing, website, social media, reaching more clients? Or is it learning and growth, research summaries, training materials, professional development? I want you to actually think about this. We all know this question. If you could wave a magic wand and get support in one of these areas tomorrow, what would it be? That's your starting point. That's where you pilot your first AI tool. Thank you for joining us today. I know this was a lot of information, but I hope it's given you a clear picture of what's possible and how to get started. If you have questions after today, you can always email us at help@heyberries.com. We're here to support you. And thank you for the truly important work. The world needs more therapists who are present, energized, and sustainable in their practice. AI is just one tool to help you get there. Thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you in our next training.